when people think about you, like what song would you like to come to mind? If somebody were to describe you with a song, how would they describe you? And it could be R&B, it could be gospel, because you have deep gospel roots, but you can touch every genre.
Um, Best song that describes me would be The Commodores with Lionel Richie. Easy like Sunday morning.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Easy like Sunday morning, peaceful and easy, not filled with drama, not,
Mm.
chaotic, just peaceful and easy, man. Easy like Sunday morning.
I could see that. I could
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
see that. I don't recall us growing up and remembering you as a young man being, drama
All
filled.
over the place, wilding out. Listen, and I
Yeah.
think a big part of that had to do with, I mean, because I'm learning this now at the age of 45, but as a kid growing up, I was trying to appease everybody, I didn't want to let Bishop Burt down. It's like my uncle. I didn't want to let Cortez down. It's like my uncle. I didn't want to let my godmother and my godfather down. I just didn't want to let people down. I didn't want to let my mom down, my aunts down. So I was a people pleaser in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I was scared enough to never wanted to do anything that would put me behind bars. I've never been to jail a day in my life. So when you think about it, I'm the definition of a square. I'm a straight L7 for real. And that's the other thing too that I'm learning. Like everybody knows me as Shonn, but there's another side to me. Like people see Shonn the guitarist, Shonn the artist, the songwriter, the producer, the drummer, the chef, the I say chef because I've been cooking as of lately.
I've been seeing you cooking. I've been seeing your lives. I honestly haven't watched it in full yet, but I
Yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah.
okay, so now he a chef.
Oh yeah, just doing it all. In the
Yeah.
fashion I come, but my very few people know this, but my full name is Raymond Shondell Hinton. So when I think about my childhood days, like my adolescent years, um, when I was developing who I was, but I didn't understand the full concept of it. My elementary school and middle school years, I got picked on as Raymond.
Mm.
Wasn't until my freshman year of high school, where I was the kid that had the S curl. I'm light skinned, and so all the little girls thought I was cute. And then I played with Wisconsin State Youth Choir, and did that live recording, and that was the day
Your life
that
changed.
my life changed. And I neglected Raymond, and I developed the character Shonn. I developed him. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like and neglecting Raymond, he would peep his head out every so often, like just figuring out the things that I like to do and what I don't like to do, and still figuring it out. I'm at the age of 45, I'm still learning that now because I'm more attentive now. So I'm not neglecting Raymond anymore. I'm not
Yeah,
starving Raymond. You know what I'm saying?
that's
But everybody
good.
knows me as Shonn. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. So
yeah,
are you on like this personal journey to like reintroduce yourself to Raymond?
yes. And when it's so crazy, it took this divorce, right? I just got out of, just went through a divorce. It wasn't a horrible divorce. It was, but it was a divorce nonetheless. And throughout the entire process, from the separation to the divorce, I had to really take a hard look at myself, like a real, real deep look at myself, and figure out like, okay, why does this keep happening? Because this was my second marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to figure it out. Like I really did. So I took the end of 2022, 2023, and here we are in 2024. Just getting to the bottom of who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like the confidence department for Shonn is in abundance, right?
Yeah.
Overabundance. But it's who I am when I'm not on stage, when I don't have the
Right.
guitar in front of me, when I don't have the mic in front of me. One of the things that I've learned about myself that I was able to, you know, embrace, but then also try to change. Because the goal is to to even love the not so lovable parts of you. Like I
Mm-hmm.
learned that I was an impulsive person. Like I learned that I was an impatient person. You know what I'm saying? Like because it was again, I feel like this was Shonn and Raymond battling with each other. Shonn feels like, well, I'm this person. I am like bigger than life to people in my city and
Right,
people all over
right,
the world.
yeah.
Everybody knows me all over. Um, but Raymond is just like, yo, but this is not who this is. That's a character.
Mm-hmm.
That's a character. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of who you really are.
Yeah.
And
So
it
you
took for me to
created
go through
you created Shine, and
exactly.
now you had to face Shine.
I'm facing Shonn, and Raymond is facing Shonn, and Raymond is building up the courage. He's built up the courage to call Shonn out, to tackle it head on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the discoveries that I'm making, and the lessons that I'm learning, has been rewarding and very, very fulfilling.
I love it. Like I can hear it in your voice. It's like I'm doing everything I can to be a better man, and we
Yo,
need to hear that. Men need to hear it for sure. You definitely
yeah,
speaking to the brothers, but as women, just to hear that from you as a man to say, this is what I battle with, and then this is how I'm trying to navigate these two personalities. Like this is I'm really Raymond for real, but I'm also Shine, and I've like built this whole life. So like, I'm listening to you, and it's like you built this whole life around Shine,
yes.
and you neglect. It's like you kind of neglected
Ain't
Raymond.
no kind to it. I neglected Raymond
Yeah.
because Raymond do. And so I've been working. I'm working on my biography right now, and in my biography, I'm being transparent. I'm learning the difference between being honest and being transparent. Being transparent is bringing it to you, so I don't have to be asked. You know what I'm saying? So in the
Mhm.
book, those are I think about I talk about my experience on the road as a road musician from the time that I started playing with Dave Hollister up until Mary J. Blige.
Pause, pause. I love Dave.
And
I love Dave. Like
that was my
all these
first one.
individuals, that you've been playing with, I love
Yeah.
them all, like no lie. Okay. Run it down.
Yeah, Dave Hollister, Kelly Price, Glenn Lewis, Angie Stone, Patti LaBelle, Mary J. Blige, Jill
Now that's
Scott.
new. I didn't know that you played for Patty.
I played for Patty one time. This was when Luther died. And our tour manager, who tour managed for Mary, was also tour managing for Patty. And he asked if I was interested in doing the Patty gig, and I was like, "Yeah, I was." That gig scared the hell out of me. I'm not gonna hold you because Luther
See,
had
forgot
died,
Luther.
and she was an emotional wreck, G, because that was like her brother.
Mm,
So when you dealing with that, like everything else around you really don't matter, and so you lively to get snapped on.
right.
But yeah, it was this one time I played with Mary. I mean with Patty, um, John Legend, Lil Wayne, Mary and Jay did a tour together in '08, and I did a couple of gigs with Jay because the guitar player had some important dates that he couldn't be late for. Um, and I'm back with Mary. Still I've been with Mary since 2004.
That's a long
So
time. That
that is a
is,
that is a very long time.
and I
So
know you
now,
talked about, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I know
no,
you
you're
talked
fine.
about, your divorce, which was, being open about that, and we appreciate that. But I want to commend you as my big brother for just saying, how you're managing your professional relationships. And I
Yeah,
would even challenge you to even consider that in moving forward with your new relationship, whenever that occurs with the new lady, because for you to manage that with Mary, you just got to transfer that energy. You
hey,
you
that's it. You
you,
know
you
what?
got to
And the
transfer that,
beautiful,
some of that energy and like,
yeah,
how I'm gonna maintain this.
dog. You know what? And that's the big thing too, man. Just learn. I went to go see Piece by Piece, the movie Pharrell that Pharrell did, and I left that movie so inspired. And one of the takeaway lessons was, we all get 24 hours. What do you do with your 24 hours? Make good use of your time. Pharrell made great use of his 24 hours every day. Whether it was him working on music or whether it was him just trying to master something else in life, but he did it.
Hmm.
And the takeaway from me was like with even with the journey that I'm on right now, to being a single man, I'm learning how to be single again. So um I know that I wouldn't be of use to any woman right now at this place and point in my life. And I'm enjoying the process and the journey of knowing who I am because when and if that time should ever present itself, this woman is going to know who Raymond is.
That's good.
The world gets Shonn. The world
Mhm.
gets Shonn. But she is gonna get Raymond. Raymond is quiet. Raymond is mild tempered. Raymond is like I and this may, challenge a lot of people, but I'm to a certain extent, I'm soft spoken. Like I heard Dave Chappelle uh tell the saying to the audience that his mom told him. He says, sometimes you have to be a lion so that you can be the lamb that you truly are.
Hmm.
My whole thing is this, like my true nature, man. I'm a lamb. If I gotta be a lion at times, then so be it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm being a lion, it's because I'm trying to either get you off me or show you that okay, like I'm not. This ain't no easy walk in the park. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But my true nature, man, I'm very chill. Like we just said earlier, what song describes me best? I'm easy like Sunday
Easy
morning.
like Sunday
I'm
morning.
easy like Sunday morning. So
Yeah, you
that's
need
who
to put that
Raymond
in your book.
is.
You need to put that in your book.
Absolutely. That's who Raymond is. Like I'm quiet. That's who she'll get. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I hope if should the time present itself and an opportunity and God himself says, like, okay, it's time, that she would be okay with Raymond. And I think that was
Mhm.
the big thing for me. For 2 marriages, I was being shy. I
So
was
you say
being
for both, for both.
off for both. I got my first marriage. I got married when I was like 19. You know what I'm saying? And I was still developing the character Shonn. Shonn was very ego driven, very prideful. Like I was, it was a lot of things that I allowed in my life that was detrimental to my existence. You know what I'm saying? And now it took this second one to make me realize, like, okay, my grandfather used to say this a whole lot. Every time you point a finger at somebody, you got three pointing back at you and one thumb to the sky. So your issues is really between you and God. And God don't make no mistakes. So work it out. Thank God for his grace. Ask him for patience in dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with yourself. And so that's where I'm at.
Mhm.
I'm learning it, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving the journey. I'm enjoying the journey. Dude, I spent a whole entire year, man, like in my house. I wouldn't I wouldn't open the blinds. I wouldn't open the curtains. Like I was suicidal at times. Like I was battling. I really was battling. Half of it was because it's like I felt like I had lost my best friend and my wife. But the other part was because it's like, dang, man, who have I become? What have I become? Like I have to change who I am. And before I could change who I am, I had to be able to embrace and accept who I was.
Yeah,
And
right.
once I did that, I accepted and embraced who I was, then I could change.
That
Like,
that's the hard thing. That's the hardest thing. Then once you get over that, it's the process. It's the
and it's
process
still
of
happening now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I always look at things from this standpoint. Never ed, but ing. I'm not healed. I'm healing.
yeah. And we
You know.
all are still healing, in different areas. Things may come up, a
Hmm.
trigger. I was listening to something the other day, and they, I think she was saying something about, you should get to, or it was he, I can't recall, but it was like, you should get to a point where nothing trigger you. And then it was like, I thought about it. I was like, I agree. But then also like, it still can be a time where something triggers you because you never know. You never know like how the day goes, what happens. Someone says this, something can come up from your childhood, something can come up from 5 years ago. So life just be life, and we just gotta like,
And we gotta,
come at it
roll
the
with the
way we can.
punches. Yeah, roll with the punches, and don't. I think we've gotten to a place where we're so hyper everything. I want to be hyper healed. Like I don't, I want to be completely healed from my triggers. No, those triggers are there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the sensories for your boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is subjective, as a subjective opinion and thought, but that's how I look at it. Like I don't know if I'll ever be completely healed from my, from my triggers, and I don't know if I want to, because
Mm-hmm.
those triggers lets me know that I have emotions, I have feelings.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's true.
saying?
It
And
makes
what?
me think about oh yeah, you
No,
can
you
finish.
good. Go ahead. Go
It
ahead.
makes me think about Paul and the thorn in the side. I believe it was Paul, and
Yeah.
he was asking. And I remember a time I was praying and I was like, I need you to take this away. And it's like, no, God, like I'm not gonna take it away, but I'm going to help you to manage it.
There it is.
And
And
that's
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 it.
what God is saying. It's like I may not take that away, but every day you got to depend on me and you have to manage it. You got to want to say, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to say that. I don't want to do that.
Hmm.
You're going to
Which
you're going
makes
to carry
you,
that thorn in your side.
and that thorn in your side is to help you to be mindful and to be present in your thinking. That was
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest things that I learned from my therapist and life coach, Dee Dee Moore. She was the one that kind of helped me get through that tough period in my life. She was like, yo, some of this stuff you're gonna have to sit in, because what you sit in, you like, not in the sense to just let it fester and wallow, but to learn. The goal
Mm-hmm.
is to learn. And that's what I've been doing. Like, so whenever I find myself in having a moment, I can regulate my emotions. And
Mm-hmm.
I can ask the question like, okay, what's the core emotion of what's going on right now?
I
Like
know
these
you've
are
been to I know
conversations.
you've been to therapy because you're talking about regulating your emotions.
Come on, yo. It's like I'm
That's
learning that.
therapy
It's
talk
like,
right
okay,
there.
what's the core emotion? Like, what's the
Mm-hmm.
real emotion that's what going on with this? And again, this is transparency. Like the way that I look at life and relationships, and regardless of whether it's a friendship or if I'm in an actual full-fledged romantic relationship with a female, I look at the neglect, what I would feel neglect. You know what I'm saying? Like I can channel it back to, okay, when I was a kid, how was it growing up for me? You know what I'm saying? Like again, I know enough about me to trace everything back to why I am the way that I am. I'm sensitive. I wear my heart on my sleeve, Chris, for real. Like at the age of 45, I still do that. But I regulate my emotions because it's like, okay, codependency is a drug, and if you're not careful, you'll cripple yourself for that dopamine hit of
Yeah.
wanting to be around people. Like that's why I said that's how it helps me to manage my relationships with people, my friendships. Like if they don't pick up the phone, I don't take it. One part of me will want to take it personal, but the reality settles in and says, well, they got a 9 to 5 job. They can't
Yeah.
sit and talk. Just because I'm blessed with the gift and the ability to make money doing something that I love doing, and I make my own hours when I'm working on music or working on my book or
Yeah.
designing clothes and cooking. Like, so I learned how not to take things so personal, but
Yeah.
it was
Everybody don't got it like everybody don't have it like Shonn.
but I learned how to regulate my emotions, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think for me, and let me not say I think, I know, like where I am, I always want to know the why.
Mhm.
I want to know the why all of the time, especially when it comes to my life.
You so
Like
deep, brother. You so deep.
I'm just being 100, like for real.
Yeah. When you're out and you're touring and you're playing and you're performing, have you ever had a moment where you felt that Raymond was calling your name
Never,
and
because
you ignored?
my ear wasn't keen enough. I wasn't sensitive enough to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I was so he could have been calling me. He could have been, and the thing is, you got to think about it. Raymond was malnourished. He didn't have any type of strength, so it was probably a whimper, like Shonn.
Yeah,
Like, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like I wasn't,
yeah.
my ear just wasn't keen. But I'm grateful for uh everything that led up to me having a sensitive ear to that situation. And Raymond is not exactly where he wants to be right now because I'm still taking care of him. I'm taking care of him right now. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm embracing him.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, when you go through a situation where you've been neglected,
Mm-hmm.
and once the person finally realized the error of their ways and they had neglected you, now you're the not only the topic of discussion, but you get my time because I need to build you back up.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal, when it's all said and done, Raymond and Shonn will be able to walk in harmony.
Together, yes.
That's it, to walk together in
Together.
harmony. So I know how to be when I'm on stage and I know how to be when I'm not on stage. I don't, the goal is to never bring Shonn Hinton, the artist, home from a show.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And if I do, like example, if I bring a girl to my place after a show, that's ego. That's SHONN. That's Shonn,
That
right?
shine. That shine.
But when I come home alone, that is okay. Shonn is at the lower level lounge. Shonn is at the Cooperage. Shonn is at a park where he just performed at. When I walk through that door of my place, I'm Raymond.
Yeah.
When I go to the bathroom to brush my teeth and wash my face, that's Raymond. When I
Mm-hmm.
jump in bed and I turn my television on and I go to Cartoon Network to watch Bob's Burgers, A Family Guy, that's Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Raymond is.
Yeah, falling in love with Raymond, like getting back to that core. That is
Absolutely.
so good because I do believe, when someone like you have managed to build this massive career where you're in the public eye and people are celebrating you, they know you for this gift, for this talent.
Mhm.
Oftentimes they do not know you.
They
And
only know what I show them.
they only know what you show them. And then sometimes you can get lost in not even knowing you. So, like you're talking about, this is so good, brother. This is so good. Somebody's going to be so blessed of
You
how
know
you
what's the name of your podcast? It says
have conversations that matter.
and this matter, and I'll use this as an example. I look at musicians,
Mm-hmm.
especially musicians here in the city. I love and appreciate and respect the new batch of talented musicians and the gift and the abilities that they have. But I get a glimpse of I have yet to get a glimpse of who they truly are.
Mm.
You know, we live in the day and age of social media, so you can go online and post how you feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we don't deem it necessary, we may even deem it as too much information. I always find myself pondering when I look at these young musicians, when I see them out in public or I see what they post online, like, yo, what was your childhood like? Let's like
Mm.
if we peel back the layers, because I refuse to believe for 1 second that this is who you are.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're anal retentive, if you got this ego on you because you're good at what you do, like,
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to believe that this is your story, this is your character, but who are you really? And I think the conversation that really matters, And this is to all the musicians or any type of creative. Learn how to separate your gift and ability from who you are as a person.
Say
Because
that
that
again.
that gift and ability, if you ain't careful, it will bring an ego out of you. You know what I'm saying? And ego never serves anybody. Who are you when you get done playing keyboard? When you get done playing the drums? You get done playing bass? When you get done playing the guitar? When you get done singing? Who are
Mhm.
you? Who are you? And when you act out in public, who are you? What's
Mhm.
your core emotion? Like, find out who I had to find. I'm finding out who Raymond is.
Mhm.
Find out who you truly are. That's
Mm.
a conversation that matters to me the most. And I'm walking in my OG calling, and I
Mhm.
know I know that OG to me means advocacy. I'm advocating. Like, I want to know who you are, young keyboard player, young drummer. I want to know who you
Yeah.
are because you giving me ego right now. I could care
Yeah.
less about your ego.
Because
Like,
the
show me,
ego is what got you here.
Keenan Thompson. I'll never forget this, man. And it's so funny, like, because while we're talking about it, I remember the conversation. I was with Mary J. Blige. This was around 2000. I want to say maybe between 2005 and 2007, and we did Saturday Night Live. We played. I was the MD at the time, and Keenan Thompson, he's still a cast member on SNL. It was around the time where he just kind of had got started with like he was the newest cast member of
Mhm.
SNL, and me and him kind of hit it off. We were talking. He liked the way that I played the guitar. Had always been a big fan of so like Keenan and Kel and all of that. And I was asking him, like, dude, how do you do this? He said, man, you just got to know when to be the character. He
Mm.
said, dude, when I'm on stage, I'm in
Mhm.
character mode. When I'm not on stage, I don't, nah, I'm
Yeah.
chilling.
You turn it off.
We
Yeah.
turn it off. And a lot of
Yeah.
times we don't know how to turn it off. We get these gifts and we get these abilities and we don't get a handbook. And there is
Mhm.
no blueprint. There is no guide. You know what I'm saying?
It
And I think
isn't.
that, and I'm appreciative of pastors and musical directors who take out the time to really check in on their musicians. But I like to see a lot more of that with pastors. Take out the time. Like, yeah, we're great at what we do, but we battle with a whole lot of stuff too. And regardless of whether it's of our own creation or not, the reason why we have all of these egos and stuff like that, and we lean towards the characters because who we truly are, we've neglected and other people neglect.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You might have to do a master class on this. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm hearing. So when you do it, you could just say, you don't even have to pay me for it. You just say, my sister, told me I need to do
I
this
want
and
my
this.
sister to be a part of it. I would love to have a open like a conversation. Me and you have a conversation
Hmm.
with musicians, with men. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like to
Hmm.
so they can see the chemistry between you and I, as
Yeah,
brother and
yeah.
sister. And then they can see the full transparency, which will then provoke them to be transparent.
Yes, we
You know
we
what I'm
can
saying?
definitely set that up. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can definitely
absolutely.
set that up. And people do have to see that so they can know that it's real and it's possible and that they are a human being besides just being a human doing.
There
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see in the future whenever you have time, because you have so many projects and things that you're always working on and albums and but the teaching aspect, because you're a smart brother. You
Hey, to God be the glory, real talk.
the teaching aspect of really pouring into the next generation, and not just the next generation, but people, within your generation, your age group, all people, from all different genres, because you've been blessed to be able to understand, to translate, and to navigate all these different genres.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah,
I'm grateful for it because I mean, I went through it.
yeah.
And
But
when
that,
you go
that
through
has to be a tough gift though to carry.
oh, trust me. I when I look back now, I was telling my cousin Doug, and I was like, bro, we're gonna be able to look back at this time in our lives next year, and we're gonna have a laugh about this.
Hmm.
Because it was in that moment where we felt like, dang man, this is difficult. This is a burden to bear, and it's difficult to bear. But God was spotting me the whole time.
Hmm.
God was spotting us the whole time. What they say, no weapon formed. It didn't say the weapon wouldn't form. It's gonna
Yeah,
form, but it won't take you out.
right.
And then it also goes back to um the mental space, your mind. The devil and God are fighting for that space.
For that mind, yeah.
Mhm. And it is like, who are you Listening to.
What are you watching? What are you putting into your
Gotta
body,
protect.
your spirit, all of that on a daily basis? Yeah.
Dude, I got to the place now, like, I look on social media and everything is hypersexual now. They
Hmm.
selling sex pills and honey and all of these things. It's just like, I don't want to see that. Cause
Hmm.
that'll send me into another a dark alley that is unfamiliar territory, and it'll heighten my anxiety, and I don't want my anxiety heightened.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'll scroll past that stuff so fast, like nah, nope,
Yeah.
no
What
parts.
advice do you have for men, managing that? Because every guy, can't scroll past, they can get caught up in it. Some people don't have the discipline. They don't have the mental, capacity to say, let me just keep going. They go down the rabbit hole. They get caught up.
Honestly, I have no advice. I think the thing is when you're ready,
Hmm.
you'll make the necessary changes. Like I feel like if that man who's battling with it just so happens to catch this episode and hear me talk about it, maybe that will light the spark that will help to get you to that place where mentally and emotionally you're ready to
Yeah.
change that about who you are. Now, I honestly don't have any advice to say, well, this is how you stop it. Nah, I didn't have advice. I had to get to a place where I was completely and totally broken.
Hmm.
I was completely and totally broken. And I didn't want those type of things to trigger me in an unhealthy way where I would be thinking like, okay, what is she doing right now? That's unhealthy.
Hmm.
That is so unhealthy. And a lot of times that's not the situation with men. We're visual creatures. We're turned on by the things that we see. And so,
And it's so much out to see now. It's so much out to see.
dog, listen, these BBLs is wearing me out, folks. I ain't gonna hold you. Like that's that and that's the thing. So we see that and it's just like, yo, that's
Hmm.
just the exterior. What they soul look like, G. And a lot of times they
Hmm.
ain't concerned about what they soul look like, but then you end up having a baby with a woman that you don't even like.
Mm.
You got a co-parent with this woman, and she got a
Mm.
co-parent with you, and y'all don't like each other. Y'all was just turned on by what you saw at the bar or at the club. You know what I'm saying? He had on a nice fit. He had on his Cartier glasses. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All
had
the
on his
exterior
all that. You
things.
dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
come on. Like
yeah.
it's all about sustenance now. It's like, but when they get to that place,
Right. Yeah.
they'll do they'll act different. They will govern themselves, and
Hmm.
that the journey will begin for them. But
Hmm.
until then, listen, it's an uphill battle, and it ain't the days ain't perfect because Lord know I ain't perfect. Like I have to make the I have to really be present in my thinking every day. I have to
Mhm.
make the choice to say, like, yo, listen,
So what is,
I'm
well, I'm not gonna say Shonn. What is some of Raymond's daily, activities? What is something? Do you have a routine?
yes. One of the biggest things that I worked on was being consistent. Um, my ex-wife said that I was consistently inconsistent, and I had to eat that. And even down to just when I get up in the morning. So one of the main routines that I do is I make my bed in the morning.
Okay.
I get up and I make my bed. I wash my face. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast, um, and
And you're
I will
eating breakfast every morning.
every morning,
Okay. Yeah.
whether it's Honey Nut Cheerios or
Yeah.
whether it's a cup of coffee. That's my breakfast.
But you're making sure you have breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I work on music or I work on my book. Like that was the part of the healing process for me was me working on music. Like I'm my most happiest when I'm creating, when I'm being creative.
Yeah.
So Raymond is creating. Raymond loves to create. So my routine is make my bed, just be consistent. Just things that I wasn't consistent at before that I'm consistent at now.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I like that. I like being able to walk in a clean house.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
like to be able to. I like the idea of walking around in my bedroom and there's a whole lot of stuff on the floor. I read my daily devotional. Like that's a
Mm.
part of my routine. Just
Okay.
start my day with God, end my day with God.
In your day with God. Do you have a special devotional that you're reading right now?
I'm reading what is it? Our Daily Bread.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
got it from when I was at Christian Faith. They had those books, like
Mm-hmm.
that you can order. I literally today just ordered my books for the year, so I'll be getting it in the mail. So I read Our Daily Bread, and it covers you from month to month, like it covers a couple of
Mm-hmm.
months. So I try to be I'm mindful enough where I can read it every morning.
Now, is this taking you back, like you reintroducing yourself to Raymond and building this routine in your life to, really live with Raymond and not necessarily like divorce Shine or neglect Shine? Is
Yeah.
this taking you back to your foundation with your roots in church and just
I think so. I mean,
because
I wouldn't doubt it for 1 second. I mean, because
you have
um
deep, deep roots that I don't want us to forget about and how it just connects with everything you
absolutely.
do with music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in church. My grandfather was a pastor and bishop. Bishop Burt is my uncle. Cortez is my uncle. But honestly, man, can I be completely transparent with you?
Mm-hmm.
It took for me to be an adult to really pay attention and be mindful. So I had such a adolescent faith
Okay.
growing up in church. I'll never forget when I had first joined Greater New Birth. And I told before he was Bishop Burt, when he was Reverend Burt. And I was like, man, I want to play for the church. And he told me, you may never play. He said, I don't care if you never play the drums. I don't care if you never play the guitar here at this church. I'm more so concerned about your soul than
About
anything
your
else.
song. Yeah.
And at the time, I did not understand that
Mm-hmm.
because that was my claim to fame was being a
Yeah.
musician.
And you were young, right? How old were you?
Yeah, I was 13.
Yeah, you weren't trying to take that in.
I would do, and I wasn't paying attention in church. But
Mm-hmm.
now I pay close attention to church to the point where if I hear something and it don't sit well with my spirit, I will come to the crib and open my Tony Evans study Bible.
Oh my God, I love Tony Evans,
I
and
love
I
me and do
have
listen.
so so he's my one of my favorite Bible teachers.
Yeah.
I swear by Tony Evans, and I do have that Bible. My grandma, my grandma, she gifted me that
Yes.
Bible.
Yes. Dude, I
Hmm.
love that Bible, man. But I will study it and find out for myself.
Hmm.
So now, the I clearly was getting by the prayers of my parents, my grandparents, my aunts, people that embraced me, like Bishop Burke, Cortez, Corey Burke, the Burke family, even the Hines, like as an adult. Like these people, I've lived off of the prayers of community leaders that are religious community leaders.
Hmm.
Now I figure it. Now I've been figuring it out for myself as an adult. Like when I got in my 40s is when I started really paying attention and just wanted to know. Like I find myself sometimes at Bible study. I can't take notes quick enough, so I would record
Okay.
on my phone and then get home and jot the notes down because I can stop
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
write and have notes
Yeah.
so I can read. So if I'm feeling away, but getting again being present and mindful in the moment and in the moment helps me to realize like, yo, I need God. I have to have him. That's the only
Mhm.
way that I'm going to be okay about this because I do that reading my devotional and the scriptures in those devotionals, they help calm me. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like it helps to keep me like off the ledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It keeps me off of the top of the US Bank building, taking a
Hmm.
nosedive into the ground, going kersplat. Like
Yeah.
reading that helps me be like, okay, all right.
Yeah. The word can
If I'm
look,
not
it can definitely
okay, I'm
calm
gonna be
you.
all right. Exactly.
Yeah, the word can definitely calm you. Yeah,
Yep.
that's good to hear because I do believe it's true. It can definitely calm you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you know what? Okay, this is how I'm gonna navigate this situation this way.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
beautiful thing about life is, I look at it from this perspective. We are this vehicle. We're this high-end luxury vehicle with GPS in it. And if we ever make a wrong turn, it will definitely recalculate us and put us
Hmm.
back on the right path.
That's true.
So God
Yeah.
ain't calling for us to be perfect. He's just calling for us to be mindful.
Hmm. Yeah. So what are you looking forward to? Because you're on this, journey, and you're saying it's not ED, it's not heal, but it's healing. What
Yeah.
are you looking forward to with Raymond, and what are you looking forward to with Shonn?
Um. Overall, I'm looking forward to the time and the moment where Raymond and Sean can walk in harmony together. Like I said, that's a big thing for me because um it's easy for Sean to reign supreme and take over. You know what I'm saying? But the mature version, which is Raymond, allows Sean to be who he's going to be on stage.
Hmm.
And then when it's all said and done, Raymond is vocal enough to say, all right, Sean, in the back seat. It's time to go
Okay.
home.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Just that Raymond and Sean walking in harmony.
Mm.
That's it because while we know that it's ing and never ed, I'm gonna always be learning. I'm gonna always
Hmm.
be growing. And my grandfather taught me like the day you feel like you know everything, mean that you have mastered this life. So from labor to reward, go get your reward, which
Hmm.
is, you get to meet the Lord. Ain't
Hmm.
ready to meet the Lord yet. I'm still
You're not
learning.
ready.
I got purpose. There's still
I
stuff
got
that
time.
God wants me to. My brother says this, Chasino Roper. He said the most expensive place on earth, and I'm paraphrasing, is the
Hmm.
graveyard.
Yeah,
He said
yeah. I've
it's
heard him say that before.
you know what I'm saying? And that's the
Hmm.
thing, like it's not finna none of this stuff is finna die with me.
Yeah, you want to die empty.
I want to die empty. That's the way that I want to die. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing. While I
Hmm.
would love to be Enoch, who walked with God, he didn't even die. Like he walked with God, and then before he knew it, he was just in heaven. And it's so
Hmm.
funny because that's my grandfather's name. His name was Enoch, Enoch Johnson.
Really,
Yep.
really.
While I know I will never be Enoch, I still want to make sure that I'm present in my thinking and I'm mindful and I'm always seeking him, seeking God. and learning and growing and evolving. All
Yeah.
INGs. I said all INGs. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was so good, brother. I really appreciate you. I
Oh, thank
know
you.
someone will be inspired and blessed by your openness and your honesty about who you are as a man versus, Raymond and Shonn, because so many people go through that. It's not just someone working in the music industry, but someone can be in public office and
Mhm.
in different industries and background, battling the personalities, battling this person that you've created and you've shared with the world, but then knowing how to come home and take it off and just be you and be around your family, around your children, and all those things. It's a tough battle, but it's doable. It's
Absolutely.
yeah, it's doable.
Yeah. And I'm grateful that I'm doing it. And I'm in
Hmm.
the thick of it and I'm learning and I'm enjoying the process.
Hmm.
When my girls come over and my son come over, like I'm not being Shonn, I'm being Raymond. All right, what game y'all want to play? Y'all hungry? Y'all want to
Hmm.
take something home? That's who Raymond is.
And you have three kiddos?
Three. Shonn
Three.
is 25, Tracy
Hmm.
is 21, and Taylor is 15.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shine the dad. Okay, so you're a chef.
The chef, the fashion icon,
Yeah.
the artist, the musician, the producer, the songwriter, the father, the friend, the brother,
Yeah.
the son,
The
the
son.
nephew,
Hmm.
you know,
The
the
man of God.
godson.
The
Yeah,
man
you
of
know,
God. Yeah.
the man of God.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Just embracing it all. I have been like cracking up in a good way because I'm scrolling and I'm seeing your Facebook live. I said, okay, whatever he's doing, I'm a huge everybody and such a huge supporter of Shonn Hinton.
I appreciate it.
Such a huge supporter, and the music and everything. I'm such a huge supporter. So I'm like, okay, he's a chef right now.
Yeah.
He added that. He added that, and the food looks good. The food looks
Yes.
good.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. My oxtails, my jerk oxtails and my curry chicken, I made my own combination plate yesterday. Upper Yard
Yeah.
is my jam. I love Upper Yard. That's why I get my Jamaican food. But I said I'm cooking this stuff myself.
But I think that's cool. And we talk about social media, the things we see, but the positive things like that. And I think it's cool to see from a guy like you who has so much, going on with you as an artist. But then you like, okay, I'm kicking back, and this the other things I like to do. So let me kind of let you in on,
But yeah,
some other things I like to do, and the music. Like you got the whole vibe set up.
come on, man. It took my music administrator, shout out to Ashell, Midwest Hummingbird White. She was like, Shonn, you got to get your content game up. You got to get your content game up. I chose to be more present in on social media
Okay.
to get people, get them going, get them
Yeah.
intrigued, get them invested in my story. So
Right.
when you hear the music, you're like, man, this dude is the total package. Like he's a good person, he's a good individual, and he's gifted and talented as well.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's working. I love it. Now, Khadijah, I'm gonna let you go, but Khadijah, where did that name come from?
Um, One of my favorite shows was Living Single,
Mm-hmm.
and Queen Latifah's character was Khadijah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Great show.
at first, the goal I was trying to be I was trying to be funny, that ego thing, that Shine ego thing. I was gonna call it Me and Big Booty Khadijah. And then I was like, let me get rid of the Me and the Big Booty and just name the album Khadijah. I didn't want the album to be too serious. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like Khadijah essentially is an idea. I've never met Khadijah before. Like the first song describes Khadijah to a T, but this is who this woman is in my mind.
Yeah. In your mind.
In
Yeah.
my mind, this is who Khadijah
Yeah.
is. And that's how I know it's like, and then I learned the lesson. Like, I stopped writing songs about females that I'm in relationships with. Like I only wrote
Okay.
one song about about a woman, and and as you can see, I'm not
Mhm.
married no more.
Mhm.
But I learned my lesson, like to idolize a person. Like to me, and in my this is subjective opinions, right? But even down to markings on my body, like my first wife name is on my neck, right? And my first marriage didn't work, so I got it covered with a rose. I wrote a song about my second wife, and then I have to stop idolizing
Mhm.
situations, putting situations on pedestals. Like, so Khadijah is nobody that I know by the
Okay.
grace of God.
Okay. Okay.
It's just it's based off of Queen Latifah's character because I love that name. The name is
Mhm.
super dope. But then I started imagining, dang, who's Khadijah? You know who taught me how to get in character mode and when you're creating a character? Jill Scott taught me that. Even
I
to how I
love
sound on
Jill
this record,
Scott.
like I learned how to get in my bag and just
Yes.
be in character mode when it comes to that. Like this album, I'm not trying to croon. Like I'm like I sound like sometimes I sound like a Baptist preacher sometimes, like,
Okay.
or I'm just a character. It's like I'm digging
Yeah.
in my character bag
And
and just
she's very good at doing that. She
absolutely.
is, I mean, you work with so many people. She is one of my absolute favorites. So if I ever get a chance, if you ever get a chance and
And I'm somewhere and you
let-
with me, say
yes,
less. You
yes.
definitely gonna get to meet her. Absolutely.
I I will, I mean, I already love you. I mean, but it's gonna go, you
It's
know,
gonna
it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. I love
absolutely.
Jill. I love Jill. That is my sister. That's my girl. I mean, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I
Thank you,
love
man. I
her.
mean, I that's one of my favorite artists to work with because like the conversations that she and I would have.
Yeah,
You
she's
know what
such
I'm
a
saying?
beautiful
Like
spirit, and
she's
she
like
she
a big
she's such
sister
a woman.
almost.
She's such a
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, definitely. Like she's like a big sister for me. Yeah.
That's good you have that. Why, while we're at it though, because and this is just me bigging you up. What is Mary like? Mary J. Because
Mary don't play
we
no
love Mary
games.
J.
Oh,
too.
Mary knows exactly what it is that she wants because she's been an artist for such a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
She's chill when it's time to be chill, but when it's time to go to work, we work mode. Like she don't play that. Like we getting right down to brass tacks. And then when we're in show mode, like sometimes I'll do things and make her be like, yeah, nigga, like that type. But overall, she don't play no games, man. She's nice, but she's about business too, though.
Mm-hmm.
And not
Shout
to
out
say
to
that Jill
Mary
ain't about
J.
business.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Mary,
it's just
it's a
it's
different kind.
different.
Like that's that New York. That's that New York.
Yeah. Shout out to Mary J.
Absolutely. Shout out to MJB. Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, brother, thank you. You definitely are amazing. I like to give you your flowers today, not tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I love you, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the things that you're going to do with Raymond and Shonn.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.